There are those who believe that life here began out there, far across the universe, with tribes of humans who may have been the forefathers of the Egyptians, or the Toltecs, or the Mayans. Some believe that there may yet be brothers of man who even now fight to survive somewhere beyond the heavens.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NDB Media's Back to Galactica, here, of course, on the NDB Media Network. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I want to welcome my host. We've got a lot to get to. I am a tad saddened, which nothing that my voice is going, which will make everyone happy, because I will be speaking less. There it is. So it's from one thing to another when it rains and rains, folks. But all kidding aside, I am a bit saddened because this is it. We are down to 2 episodes, basically, of the original series Galactica. And we'll be talking about what we're going to be doing moving forward. We're going to do Galactica 1980. And then, of course, I invite everyone to join me as we continue with the reimagining. But anyway, I'm Roger. Hi, Michael. How are you this evening, young man?
Doing good this evening.
Great interview earlier today, by the way.
Thank you. It was really fun.
It was fun. It was great. Hi, Liz. It's been a little while. How are you?
Hi. It's been too long. You should have been here. I'm tired of you being sick or just playing Comic-Con.
Playing Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Well, I appreciate that, folks. A lot of things have been happening. I'm not going to get into it. I will. I will. I want to thank everyone. No, I want to thank everyone. It's been absolutely awesome. All of your thoughts, your comments, and everything you've been sharing with me. It's made things a lot easier. But it's funny, like I say, I go from one thing to another. Now the voice is going. So, Admiral Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing on the rebound.
I hear you. And Patrick McD. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean Adama.
What it is?
How you doing, Adama?
Oh, fair to middling.
Oh, I hear you. You know, Adama, when I was watching these episodes today, it just dawned on me. The original intro to Galactica. Did you guys get this? It's the same thing they did on the reimagining.
Mm-hmm,
they would give you like about a minute of what was going to happen, and then they go into the title. Mm-hmm. It just dawned on me, Adama. Did you? I'm sure you knew that, right?
I mean, I hadn't directly considered it, I guess.
It today just dawned on me. So I think it's really kind of cool.
On yonder head.
Hey, yeah, watch it. That's something else. Hope. Thank you, Hope. We appreciate the love. Elizabeth, thank you for the likes, folks. We're already on our way. And you hear it. It's already going. So we'll make it quick. We're going to do episodes 21 and 22. Next time we meet, we're going to do episodes 23 and 24. So, Baltar's Escape, written by Donald Belisario and Winrich Colby. Star Trek fans know who this up-and-comer is. Well, at least at this time. This is the guy that did quite a bit of the episodes. Not Cliff Bowl. He was a major two-parter, but he did Voyager, the premiere, and numerous other episodes, big-name episodes in Star Trek franchise. It was kind of cool to see his name. But we'll get to it. Your thoughts as we get going, because the second to last episode of the original series. Michael.
Well, I'd forgotten a lot. I was glad I looked at it again, and I just had forgotten a few things. And I mean, I have missed a couple of the episodes because I haven't been able to get them. But it kind of brought a lot of it back, the Eastern Alliance and the other three guys that I can't remember their names. But
Aurelian Noman.
Thank you. And it was just like, that's right. They were all in jail and they all broke out at the same time. And the Cylon, that was the best. That was the best. Just, boom. And then,
Liz.
A lot of what Michael was saying, and also with the Cylon, the part I love is when Apollo goes, well, it was his idea. about the Cylon poking, the button to. My brain can't think today, but I thought that was probably one of the funniest parts.
It was Apollo's idea, right? I think we have a chance.
Yeah, it was Apollo's idea.
Oh my goodness, that was good. Greg, Admiral. I'm sorry, Admiral Greg.
Couple of really great episodes. Baltar's Escape, of course. We got to see the Quorum. We had a new Cyrus on the bridge. We got some more fun dialogue out of Colonel Ty.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
did. Oh yeah, we did.
Didn't do that to me, would he? Mm-hmm.
So he knows exactly what to do to make things happen, and so that was amusing. Seeing Baltar again, and this time serving slop was kind of fun. But I also noted that he was still wearing his big thick green gloves.
I caught
yeah.
that too, and that just totally turned my stomach. It's like
Those
you're
evil
serving that
gloves
those-
are probably not something you would use with a food handler's permit.
No,
That and that.
he goes and picks up those little chicken hen things, but it's I'm like, oh, those gloves.
Well, he probably used some tongs, though, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but
was-
then
yeah.
he's dipping, and
Yeah,
dip
dipping that.
everywhere. Like,
That's
oh,
soup.
The soup, yes, the soup looked real appetizing, especially when you don't feel too great.
Yeah, no kidding. Adama, your thoughts?
I love this episode. It's probably my favorite standalone episode. It's got so much Baltar in it, with all his schemes collapsing around him like Wile E. Coyote. And then you've got the Borrelian Nomen doing their thing, and Colonel Ty. My favorite Colonel Ty scene is the drinking scene.
oh God,
And
yes.
Ty has a lot of great scenes, but that one's my favorite.
Okay, wait a minute. Is it the first one or the second one? The barman.
Yeah. No,
I did like
the
that one.
first drinking scene is my favorite because of how he just puts that drink away, and the only reason he's there is to convey this message indirectly to Starbuck and Apollo to go to the landing bay. But he's makes them uncomfortable drinking in front of them, but he gets his point across.
Definitely gets his point across. There are some good lines in this episode. I think it is one of them where he's launch the shuttle. Ty, you have to launch it. Launch the shuttle. But Ty, I'm in command. Launch the shuttle.
That was
Great
great.
Ty episode.
It actually was. I had forgotten, folks, like Michael said and everyone else, that it was. I knew this episode. I had the vague feeling. I remember it was an action episode. I had forgotten the whole thing about the Cylons. Dr. Wilker. Yes, of course. Everything strewn about. It was cool. And there was some good stuff. I remember watching this first time. I thought it was a great episode. And now looking back again, yes, 1979 and 2024. You know what? The story holds up. Whether you consider the effects or whatever, that's up to you. But it was good. Now, I don't know if you guys caught it, but when Dr. Welker describes why he took them apart, did you guys realize that we're watching the entire Cylon plan from the reimagining? He says, I took them apart so I could see if I could program them from a distance to shut them down. You know what? I was remembering isn't that what they did to the colonial forces?
Yep.
In the reimagining? I'm like, wow, it's everything happened once and will happen again, right? Isn't that what they say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess they used it on us. So was Dr. Wilker really responsible for the destruction of the colonies?
Anything
I don't know. Back in War of the Gods, we saw him building an android, or he had someone else building an android. In his
That's
lab.
right. We talked about that, didn't we? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was cool. There was a lot of good stuff. The animosity that they had with the Warriors, I think it was a little bit too much. I think, but I get it. I did appreciate how Adama understood right away. He says, "The Star of Cobalt. You guys haven't given this out in like ever."
Yeah, the last time anybody was given a nice award, they were annihilated. So it's
Oh,
like
by the way,
he knew that what was coming.
Mhm.
I don't know how much all of you have seen the reimagining, but there is a lot of the reimagining that came from this episode, if you think about
Oh
it.
yeah.
They mentioned the whole idea of colonial rule, where they're like, yeah, you know what? Martial law's over, dude. It's, you've been in command, and Adama doesn't like it, just like Adama and the reimagining. So there was some similarities, which I did appreciate looking back later. So um, I taking a look at the Galactica Marines, because the Marines are in here for the first time, right, guys?
Uh-huh.
I thought their helmets on second look were a little cheapy, but these were Colonial Marines, right? These are the Razors. I thought that was cool.
Well, compared to the
And
Eastern Alliance helmets, I mean, come
yeah,
on.
You look like they stuck a black bowling ball on their head.
well, this is
It's so
gonna get
much.
you guys. I thought we were watching the unicorns, but
Oh,
anyway, no one.
I smirked.
Giant robot, no one. The
I
unicorns.
smirked.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Um, pretty easy. Another highlight that all of you mentioned or have not mentioned yet was when the Nomen do their thing. It looked real. The guards were like, "Hey, everyone, lock them up. You know what? Secure the situation." I thought that was well written and well done. And I'd
Mhm.
forgotten how it happened, and I'm like, "Hey, this looks good." And the minute the third guard, holstered his weapon and turned, the Noman jumped up and overwhelmed him. I thought that was good, guys. That looked good. I don't know what your thoughts were on that, but I was sold. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part too.
And he said captivity has slowed us down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
not by much.
Yeah, that was really good. There were actually a lot of lines in here, and it was really good. I did appreciate how Baltar trusts the human race to act like humans, not like Baltar or even anyone else. Because even the Noman says, dude, they're going to attack us. No, they can't because of the council or whatever. Dude, they're going to attack us when we're transferring. And then the Eastern Alliance is like, yep, that's right. That's what we do.
Yeah.
I hate to say this,
Mhm.
but the Nomans and the Eastern Alliance are a lot smarter than Baltar. In all honesty, looking at it now, and you see he's just so naive with things. It frustrates me. And then he thinks these gigantic plans are going to turn out okay.
Yeah, I like when he's at the beginning. He's trying to convince the Noman to join his cause, and the guy says, "Your record to date does not exactly inspire confidence."
Yeah.
You know, we didn't get very much of the Nomans, but the little that we did, they were actually good. What do you guys
Yeah.
think? Were they Klingons on steroids? And I don't mean to rip Battlestar Galactica or anything, or just what? Because look, they're warrior monks almost, but then they're also fierce warriors as well. I just these were the Klingons before the Klingons.
They had the foreheads before the Klingons
Oh,
did.
they did, especially those ridges up on the eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cro-Magnon still exists in the colonies, but that's okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I have to trim mine, else I'd look like that.
I'm sorry, no men. I chose not to be disrespectful.
They were a neat idea. It always seemed weird to me that they like styled them like these like huge Neanderthal guys, but like
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if they maybe couldn't do them like ancient Mongolians or something. If they thought maybe that would be racist or something. But I don't know. It seemed like they should be more like Genghis Khan types.
You know what I always thought they looked like?
That's funny, dude. Go ahead, Liz.
I always thought they looked like Nausicaans.
Oh,
To me, they always had I don't know, a Star Trek modeled, their Nausicaan after, something like this. If the designers did that or not, but to me, they always had a Nausicaan feel.
Did the Nausicaans have that predator mouth thing going?
yeah. Yeah, and they were kind of tall, slender, I think.
No, they weren't very slow. They were pretty, football playery.
I guess we all perceive them differently. Nausicaans are fearsome. I thought it was really cool how Cyrus, I forget her name. What was her name? Cyrus Tinya.
Tinya, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was interesting. I don't think she overdid it, but she was following the law. The colonial civilians were taking control again, and a lot of people were unhappy with what the Galactic had been doing allegedly. So it was kind of cool. I didn't appreciate it was overly done for television, where there's an order. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. What was that? That was almost Baltar-ish from the from the season premiere. Where hey, we got 1,000 ships on our way. Oh, it's probably a silent welcoming committee.
Oh, I know.
It was almost someone on the council doing it again. But I did love the line that Apollo gives her the dirty look, and Adama says, "Yeah, he doesn't hide his feelings very well," and I appreciate her line. This is after they've taken control of the landing bases. Wouldn't surprise me if our warriors didn't help Baltar blow up the shuttle.
Yeah. I thought that was a good line.
Yes, I thought that was good. Yes. Oh my goodness. Let me see. What else, guys? Look. Their fleets, the civilians are taking control of the fleet. Adama's not happy. They put the warriors off to the side. The great escape happens, and they get Baltar at the end. Everything else in between was just the ice cream sundae on the Sunday, right?
The part I actually kind of liked was when Boomer and Sheba were going to the prison planet with the colonial guards, and Boomer puts that into a total stall, which of course you cannot do in space, which is so wrong. But I thought it was so funny, to see that, and then just both he and Sheba just teasing these guys until they finally said, "Okay, fine, you're in control. You do what you want."
It was good. What did the second colonial guard say? Dude, I just want to make sure I get home.
Yeah, get back alive or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now this was the third appearance of Bruce Wright, the actor who plays one of the security guards on the shuttle, but he's previously played Corporal Lomas, who was in the recruiting department when the Borelli and Noman became recruits. He was the guy they knocked on the head. And then even earlier, I think he was like a launch crew guy.
Yeah, I've seen him a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I remembered seeing him, but I didn't make that connection. I did appreciate that. Now that was really good. I appreciated how the Comtron or whatever they called it said they have a 70-30 chance of Baltar succeeding.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, 30%. Hey, man, that's a 300 hitter in baseball. I'll take it. I know I shouldn't say that, but I would. And I love at the very end when the Cylon, their plan of the Cylon, they went up to 9-1. And then Boomers later on said, "Well, I'm glad you risked our lives." Dude, 9-1? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even Han Solo didn't have that. Come on, man. It was good. You know what? Do you guys want to rip the episode? Does it even deserve it? This was a good episode.
It was a
It
fun
has its
episode.
faults.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it was good. I just don't think it even deserves it. Um, I think there was something. Oh, when they gave him the Star of Cobalt, the council control of the fleet, Adama is relieved, and then it's Apollo that says, "What do we do?" Right? And then Adama's what a warrior always does, or what a warrior always does, their job. I did appreciate that. There was other good stuff in
Starbuck
there.
was pretty livid at that point.
Yes.
I love the point though. Okay, when they had taken it away from him, but on the shuttle, when Adama's on the shuttle with him, he leans over and goes, the council's come to the conclusion we're giving command back to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, and Sire Domra, played by John Hoyt, who we
Yeah.
saw in
Yes.
the cage as Dr.
You beat me
Boyce.
to it, Adama. Yeah, that was
Oh,
definitely,
Bad
star
wig, but
recognition.
good actor.
yes. It was good.
Especially for classic sci-fi fans, when worlds collide.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I remember that one. Yep, I remember the rocket ship. Yep. Yeah. Folks, look, we're looking back. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about. I'm not even going to waste my time. Does it have minor themes? Yes, it does. I'm not going to even waste my time on it. It was good stuff. I was looking forward to this episode, and I saw it all the way through, smiling. I had forgotten the whole theme about the Lucky Cylon.
Yeah.
That was cool. Now, did you guys notice when Dr. Welker turned it back on? Did you guys get the subtle? Did you hear the sound of the Cylon was off a little bit?
It did seem a little off. Yeah.
Did you guys check it out again? That's the subtlety, guys, that we've talked about when we've done these reviews. When we look back, we're like, hey, wait a minute. There's more to this. There was. It was almost a musical chord, the sound, because it's that solid sound, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's a musical cadence. It's almost like it's
Warbling a little.
Well, yes. Go
Yeah.
back and listen to it, guys. It's a treat. It is so subtle. And I missed it, obviously, as a 9-10-year-old. And looking at it again was a lot of fun. So, all right.
One thing, real quick, I wanted to
Yes.
say that I actually thought it was funny with, you had this conglomerate of 3 different quote unquote evil factions. I actually likened it to the Secret Society of Supervillains. Do you guys remember that at all? That show?
Wow.
But if
I
you
had
think about
not
it,
remembered
it kind of is a
Yeah.
space type of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. That's good. I didn't realize it. Well, you guys know my thoughts on the episode. Michael, your overall thoughts on the episode?
Well, I enjoyed it. As I said, I'd forgotten a lot of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. I wasn't disappointed. I mean, I didn't pick up some of the subtleties that you mentioned, but it was still fun. I mean,
It was. We know what happens in this episode, but it was still fun watching it again. Liz, I'm sorry, Baltar.
I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't sit there and watch it 2 or 3 times to pick it apart. I actually just sat there and watched it just for the enjoyment of it, and I really had a fun time.
I did.
So yeah,
Too.
it was good.
Admiral.
We know we're getting down the wire. One of the things I thought was it struck me odd. I don't know why I never picked up on it before. Was that these are a series of serialized episodes, and even though this kind of stands alone, it sets up for the beginning of the next episode, and follows the end of the previous one. So I thought that was something unusual, and I think it was Adama that had mentioned that this was like an extended pilot for something that they were going to try to do with the Terra and Luna 7 and the factions there.
I think the Michael and Sarah thing was the backdoor pilot.
Oh, okay.
Wait, wait a minute. Michael and Sarah, the president?
No, the previous one.
Greetings
Oh.
from Earth.
On the
I
planet
forgot.
Paradine.
Yeah.
That was like the backup plan in case they wanted like to do a cheaper show, that they would like to have this one set on that planet with Randolph Mantooth.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's the episode I missed last week. Yes. Okay, fair enough. Because I know Michael Ansara, he played one of the Klingons, one of the 3 original Klingons, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, Michael and Sarah.
Oh no, it's okay. So I was like, so he's in the next episode. All right, sorry. It's my accent.
Second time today.
Or like your
A
accent.
Hyundai accent.
It is second time. Well, for those of you that saw A Walk in the Clouds, remember what does the dad tell him? Says, just because I speak with an accent doesn't mean that I think with an accent. It's a great scene in the movie. I really love that one. But all right, fair enough. Trey, I'm sorry, Adama. I know you commented, but your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I love it. I've already said it's one of my favorites. I love the Baltar, the Noman, and the Alliance. We got all our enemies in one place, including the Council. So that was a great line and a great concept. Man, I just it's so much fun. I love when Baltar realizes that nobody believes he's going to set the Council free, and then he's like pacing around inside the shuttle, and then he goes up to Sire Domra and says, "You'll all be free to go. You believe me, don't you?" That's a great moment.
Yeah, of course we do. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. It is good.
It's just so much fun.
It is. And
think
I never
Baltar
would have
needs his
thought.
Xanax.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Baltar needs his Xanax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs his Xanax ever again. And also, as Adama just mentioned, didn't John Colicos have that paranoia look down when it's dawning on him? And he's like, oh God, we're gonna die. Adama's gonna die. All of you guys are right. John Colicos, my goodness. He had Baltar. Oh, he made Baltar his very own, and that was absolutely awesome.
I love those exaggerated
Yes.
facial expressions from all these older stage actors, because I mean it's just and even
It's larger
early
than life.
television, they built up on it because like they'll do like the close up as like they're having their big facial expression, and then they'll do the close up of it.
Yeah, calls to mind characters like Harry Mudd and
Yep.
just the larger than life personas that the classic stage actors had.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess John Colicos had played King Lear at some point, hadn't he?
I believe
Yes.
he has.
Oh, I could see that. I didn't know
Yes.
that. I could see that.
Hey, it showed. It was good. Well, folks, I like I said a moment ago, I had no idea that we would all really consider this episode to be one of our favorites. I don't know if it's one of my favorite, but clearly, yeah, I'll go back and watch this one again. Again, it is just so funny, and it's just that's actually well done. And the whole joke of just the Cylon, that was so lame, but it was great. It was funny. So, all right, folks. I think we all give it up. We did appreciate that one. And at the very end, as Greg and Trey did mention that they were setting up other episodes, I think just before Ty asks the barman for a drink, because they're talking about that while they're tracking the Eastern Alliance ship to its base.
Right.
And they're going to follow it up, and there are long range scans and everything. And Colonel, would you like a drink? No, I'm just here, whatever. And then the Beast and the Beastess are strolling through the officers' quarters, and I think they show him. It's like, oh my God, look at that, Colonel.
He wouldn't do that to me, would he?
Right. And I think someone says, "Oh yeah, he would."
Yeah, he would.
Barman.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good end. That was a good ending to the episode.
Mhm. Greg had a good point about how, even though it's an episodic series, there are certain story arcs in it that continue. Like the Eastern Alliance thing goes on for 3 episodes, and of course, in the next episode, we get the Ship of Lights coming back from War of the Gods, and I guess Baltar being a prisoner is a whole story arc, because you can't just drop in at any point. When why is he in prison? Why is he not on his base ship? You kind of have to follow some arcs in the show, which was unusual for the time.
Yes, definitely. This wasn't the daytime novella. All right, well, folks, it was a fun episode. I appreciate it. Let's get to episode 22. Experimento en Terra. Oh, I'm sorry. Experiment in Terra. Written by none other than the man himself, Glenn A. Larson, and directed by Rod Holcomb. Okay. There's a lot to this episode. This was good. They're opening the universe, if you will. We're kind of getting away from the Cylons a little bit, and now the Galactica is, there are some things that will affect the Galactica, and the little, the little tricks of light. Oh wait, sorry, that was Seska and Voyager. Sorry, the ships of light. Yeah, come on, I got to work them in there. They're 7 centaurs since the escape, and the Vipers are flanking the destroyer, but the destroyer knows they're being followed. And I love how they're using a little bit of strategy where they're like, okay, guys, we're following the destroyer. Let's flank them. Let's open them up. Let's make sure we don't get caught in a crossfire. I'm like, ooh, officer thinking. But because they separate, boom, the ship of light arrives. And we're back. Welcome back, Captain Apollo. In Apollo, sorry. Apollo is genuinely confused. He doesn't really remember a lot of it, does he?
Oh, they wiped his memory.
It might be his memory.
I get that, but kind of being in the safe space again, you would think that you could reveal oneself, but apparently not. But okay. He says, "Call me John. We're brothers. Eons ahead." And but we're brothers, and we need you to do something. We just can't get involved now. He says, "What do you mean? But you're involved." And I think it's just a little bit later where he tells them, "But you have a body." No, this is a reflection of intelligence. I was like, I thought that was kind of out there, but it was very good. And
Well, he's of course he's Edward Mulhare, who played the
Yes.
titular ghost in the Ghost and Mrs. Muir series in the '60s. So he's used to fading in and out, I guess.
Turn on the light.
Yeah. I often wondered if that line hadn't have been written in there specifically because of what he had done, more like kind of an Easter egg cookie type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it. You guys think so? Yes?
I do.
Yeah, definitely.
I told you guys in the episode of the A-Team, right, where they're at Universal Studios and they're trying to help someone, and Face walks outside and he's there, and all of a sudden a Cylon walks in front of him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nah. That was great, man. I got it back then. I understood it. I loved it. Because he's just like,
That was
Nah.
Dirk's idea to put that in.
who was that?
That was Dirk's idea to put that in.
Was it really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Several years ago, I had a chance to talk to him at one of the conventions, and I was asking him about that. He's like, yeah, it was his idea.
That is neat. That is
Yeah.
cool. Because I've talked about that as we've reviewed episodes, how there are certain things. You guys know that there's another subtle one in the 1990s version of the Time Machine with the guy Exley from LA Story. Did you guys see the movie LA Story? Oh, no, wait. LA Confidential. Sorry.
No.
LA Confidential. There's a character Exley, and there's a call girl ring called Fleur de Lis. Well, in the movie The Time Machine, where he goes to buy the flowers, he stops, deliberately looks up. Fleur de Lis. He says, must be the right spot. And he walks in. I'm like, hey! I wonder if that was a shout out to him figuring it out, in LA Confidential.
I'm
But all right,
certain it
anyway,
was.
it's one of those inside things. All right, go ahead, guys. What are your thoughts on this episode? Experiment in Terra.
We had so this is what I was thinking, maybe that the pilot for Michael and Sarah thing would have been extended, because I mean there was some star power in this one as well. A lot of very familiar TV actors.
Oh yeah.
And it's I was puttering to like Tuesday evening when I had it on, and it's like first I had to turn around because I heard Edward Mulhera's voice. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot he was in this. And then I hear Melody Anderson's voice, because I probably watched the Flash Gordon movie like once a quarter.
Quarter of an hour, or
No, once every 3 months or so.
okay.
That was good, Michael.
John
That was good.
Delancey? Did you catch John Delancey in there?
Oh
too?
my God, yes. I'm like,
The second he started talking, I'm like, oh my God. He's
Wait a minute.
everywhere.
That was John Delancey?
Yes, that was John
Yes.
Delancey.
there's no mistaking that voice.
Oh, it's definitely him. And also, if you look back through the credits, you'll see it's him.
Michael, you know who it was, right?
Well, I didn't realize that was him, but
Okay, it's where I love it where he's, well, there's 9 of us against against one of you.
I don't got more guys.
Yeah. I caught that right away. That voice, you do know
But
it.
you can't. Yeah, you always know that voice, no matter where it is. It's like it stares out at you.
Did I tell you I was privileged to meet John Delancey? It was in 1991. It was on a Tuesday right after Memorial Day. I was store manager at Kitchen Collection in the Citadel in the City of Commerce. And he walked in about 10 o'clock in the morning. And my friend at the time eventually became my cousin. Damn. Anyway, he was my friend at the time. He's the one who introduced me to the one I would eventually marry. Damn him. Anyway, all kidding aside, he walks in and I'm like, oh my God, that's John Delancey. And Rose like, how do you know? Dude, look. I pointed to my head. I said, look, it's John Delancey. And, we went up to him and we help you, whatever. And he was just searching the Everwall for all the stuff. And then as he was paying, there was only 2 of us in the store and he was in one of the store. I said, Mr. Delancey, thank you for stopping in. May I have your autograph, sir? And he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I was going to get a little piece of paper and I said, oh, would you give me 40 seconds? I'll be right back. I ran to my office, the manager's office, and I whipped out yesterday's Enterprise, the script.
Oh, you did
wow.
not.
I had it at work. Actually, I have the script somewhere up here, and I still have the greetings from Q. He was very nice. He was cool. He was so nice, man. He was cool. I would love to be able to have a conversation with him. But anyway, sorry. That was John Delancey.
I can give you one of the most obscure trivia facts about John Delancey's character in this episode,
Okay.
which is something you would only know if you have seen the script, and I've seen a reproduction of this script.
Talk dirty to us, Adama, please.
Yeah, in the script, he tells Starbuck his name, and his name is General Deering.
Oh God.
Yes.
So, is he a
Buck
distant
Rogers,
relative
baby!
of
Yes.
Wilma?
Wilma Deering.
As a matter of fact, we interviewed her when we were doing radio. God, she was awesome. Oh my God, she was awesome. I had no idea.
If I remember correctly, I heard John Delancey say at one point he had a crush on her. So that might be why.
Okay, wait a minute. All right, hold on. Forgive me, gentlemen, and everyone listening. Who didn't have a crush on that woman?
Okay, you're right. You're right. I'm a woman, and I thought she was gorgeous.
And you look at her today, that woman is still gorgeous.
She is. She hasn't aged.
No. Erin Gray. Oh my goodness. Boy, did we really get off topic on that one. Colonel Deering, huh? Or General Deering?
General Deering, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I like it. I like it. Come on, guys, jump in. What are some of your other thoughts? Otherwise, getting into the episode, I remember where Apollo's all confused and he's talking to Brenda, but he doesn't know her name yet. And what's your name? Yeah, go ahead, Greg. That was funny because they even said it twice, and
I
she gets
know.
mad each time.
He kept calling her Amnesia.
Oh, that's a pretty name.
That's a pretty yeah.
And then he calls her Amnesia again, and she's just like, "Oh my god!" That was
no
funny.
wonder she thought he needed a padded cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you notice very relationship 1970s, 1980s? She's out in the car. Oh, Colonel Watts, when I find out, I'm going to kill him. And,
Yeah.
oh, Charlie! I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. Oh, my love, how are you?
The one thing that drove me nuts about
Pardon the pun.
both times, going like, okay, I get in the evening time when she was going to rescue him because he had called her. But later on, when she takes Starbuck back to the ships, I hated the fact that they had it go through nighttime and everybody else is having
was
the
in
meeting
daytime.
and it's daytime. And that
Yes.
drove me bonkers. It's like,
I noticed that too.
Oh, that was one inconsistency I hated.
Oh, pardon the pun. Enlighten me. I'm missing this. It was everything else was in daytime?
Yeah,
Yes.
that when they went back to and they were showing the outside of the building where they were having the big meeting, it was daylight.
And even when the rockets were launched, it was daytime.
It was daytime.
Maybe that was
But
on
when
different
she's
side of
driving
the
Starbuck back to the ships, it's all dark. It's all nighttime at the same time frame.
But then again, it might have been on the other side of the planet, so maybe that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, so you guys are starting to catch those subtleties, right? We talked about that in House of the Dragon. How sometimes it just doesn't feel very good. I did not catch that. And Adama, you were going to say something?
What's that?
Were you going to say something right now?
Oh, well, not about that. I was
Okay,
gonna
go ahead.
note that some of you have probably heard of this, but this episode was originally written to star Starbuck instead of Apollo. But what happened was around this time, Richard Hatch went to Glenn Larson and complained that they were making too many episodes starring Starbuck, and they should have another one where Apollo goes off on his own adventure. And Larson said, "Oh, all right, we will." And what did he do? He just went through the script and changed Apollo to Starbuck and Starbuck to Apollo.
But if you notice the character of what he was supposed to be, it very much fit Starbuck much more than Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did say a bit of a scoundrel.
Yeah.
John says, "Oh, by the way, you're a bit of a scoundrel."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who does that sound like? Not Apollo.
Yeah.
It would have been Starbuck. Now, going back to the scene where he calls her Amnesia, I didn't get the whole thing where he walks in and he's like, "Wow, nice place." She's like, "Don't be mean." I said, "What do you mean? He has a bunk." So he saw the apartment. He thought it was a nice place. I didn't understand the subtlety of that. What was? Did you guys get that? Understand it or what?
Well, maybe it was more modest than Apollo thought it was. I mean, it was a nice place. I mean, it was like one of those ultra modern condos that was built at that time.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. Now, in this episode, I did appreciate how the ships of light or the light people tell him, "Look, Apollo, we need your help." He says, "Well, why don't you?" He says, "Well, we really can't. But this affects you, them, and us. So we're interested parties. That's why we pulled you out." I just don't think that they gave him enough. It's like they said, "Hey, by the way, you got to go over there and you got to go fix this end of world issue. It's like, but
Mhm.
what? Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, we're putting a blindfold on you.
Yeah.
That I didn't really understand that much. That might have been a flaw in my mind. Well, actually, it was a flaw in my mind, so not might have. But I don't know. Did that come across to you guys?
I think you probably should have given him a bit more.
But maybe he wasn't allowed to.
Well, he kept saying, I'm, not kind of allowed to do that. But
Well, precisely, yes.
and you could tell easily that there was somebody else higher up that he kind of was speaking to a little bit every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you guys. I have thought about this multiple times over the years when I've seen this episode. And considering that Belisaro was a writer originally with Battlestar, and then he went on to do Quantum Leap, do you think that he got any of his ideas from this episode to make Quantum Leap, as in jumping into somebody else's bodies to correct things? He has denied it, but there's just too many little connections.
You're right.
I
guess he would have to deny it, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I don't know. The dots seem to be all there, no matter whether he's denying it or not.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Greg?
I don't know. Because I don't think it was necessarily a new idea even here. So,
Okay.
I was trying to think of the other example of it. I can't remember if it was like a Twilight Zone or an Outer Limits or something.
Michael, what are your thoughts on that?
It very well could be. I mean, but it could have been independent. I mean, but it was the same writer, though.
Belisaro had been the writer on Battlestar for several different episodes and things.
Donald Belisario, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah,
And
then
he had
he's the one who created Quantum Leap.
Then in that case, very well could be then. Yeah, I'd forgotten that.
Liz, what's
Yes.
Quantum Leap?
What do you mean? Oh God! Please tell me you don't know. You're teasing me, right? Oh.
So anyway,
You really don't know what Quantum Leap is, or are you just pulling your leg?
Yeah.
hold on. I might be doing both. I might be doing both.
Well,
What's
I was
Vietnam?
gonna say, if you don't know what Quantum Leap is, you're off my friends list forever.
I don't know. I saw maybe 18 seconds of Quantum Leap.
Oh goodness.
Which version, though?
I think he wants
Yeah.
the out.
There's multiple versions.
Yes.
It's Sam Beckett, right? Sam Beckett is the
Oh,
character.
the first one, yeah.
Yes.
That's all I know.
Seriously, you never saw Quantum Leap?
How often have you heard me quote Quantum Leap?
Oh Lord.
I quote everything, don't I, Trey?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And I have a few quotes coming or correlations coming up, and I can't wait till we get to them. I have.
Well, we may have to just forget about him now if you've never seen Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead. You said it. You know.
He leaps into other
All I can
people's
say
bodies
is
to correct things to change the future.
All I can say is there's someone I'm going to meet this weekend, and I'm her new best friend because of this.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Now
one
the thing
difference
is, are you going to have to give it to her or not?
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Are you going to have to give her your hat or not? I know you like to give the others.
Oh my God! Even Greg is dying. Okay, folks, we're being stupid. It was just perfect, Liz. But we're just being stupid. That was obviously a good play on words. Come on, Adama. You nothing to say.
No, he's probably falling on the floor.
Oh yeah, just got myself up off the floor here.
I'm sorry. I pay attention, even though I'm deaf. Oh my goodness.
It's interesting. In the Quantum Leap, Sam Beckett always has like the mirror scene where he looks and sees what his face looks like.
Like, yeah.
But Apollo has a mirror scene in this too, except to himself he looks like himself, and he even says, "I don't look any different."
Yeah.
Oh, Did you like the line where he says, "I'm going to walk through you"? Either
Uh-huh.
you move or Starbuck told him that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. I don't know why. That did make me chuckle. I mean, that was good. I love. Are you going to move, or am I just going to walk through you? I guess that is rude to just walk through someone. I thought that was really good.
I don't know.
I
I've never met many interdimensional beings.
yeah.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, I haven't seen
Yeah.
Quantum Leap, so I guess we're on the same page, buddy. I
You
did
know,
appreciate.
the thing about
go ahead.
daytime and nighttime. Does anyone remember the Galactica telemovies? Like later, like in late 1980, they re-edited all the episodes into 12 TV movies that were circulated to
No, I
ABC,
did
Oh
local
yeah,
not.
ABC stations.
I did not like them.
I
I
did
think
not
they
Yeah.
know that.
were.
What
Yeah.
happened? What is this blasphemy, Adama?
Yeah, well, a repackaging, but
By the
one
lords of
thing I
a
think they actually
repackaging.
corrected.
I'm sorry, Adama. That's funny, dude. A repackaging. I like that. That is good.
Well, I think they corrected some of the, like when they showed the exterior of the Presidium building where the president's giving his speech. I think they substituted a nighttime shot of that.
Oh, did they? Okay.
I'm pretty sure
Interesting.
they did.
So
They
basically
certainly did.
correcting some of the problems from the original shoot.
I guess so. There's a because I think in the telemovie they use the daytime exterior shot right before right around the time that Apollo and Starbuck breaks Apollo out of the jail.
Okay.
And but when the president is speaking, they do use a nighttime shot of that building. So that's one good thing. Another good thing about the TV movie version is they add a lot of deleted dialogue from the president back in. And the reason that's significant is because I think the way the episode was edited, it doesn't make much sense what Apollo does when he gets the floor
Right.
in front of the
Yeah.
Presidium. Because his mission from John was to tell them he had seen the destruction on Paradine, that the Alliance was destroying the satellite planets, and yet he doesn't.
No, he tells
But
the destruction of Caprica.
yeah, but it's like, why is he not completing his mission? In the movie version, it's all explained because the president doesn't just come up with his treaty; he actually comes before them and makes the admission that yes, the rumors are true. The Eastern Alliance has been attacking and destroying our satellite planets, but
Oh
I have
wow.
this treaty.
Ooh.
So that completely explains why Apollo doesn't have to say that. President has already admitted it.
Yeah. So that expanded scene is in the deleted scenes and outtakes on the
Mhm.
Blu-ray edition.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, when I went and watched those after the episode, I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Folks, forgive me for the tangent. I did find it. That is on or about March 14th, 2011. We had the privilege of interviewing Aaron Gray of Buck Rogers, and there is a link to it. It is over at blogtalkradio.com/NDB Media. If you want to go on over there, there's over 3,000 episodes of content over there, folks. That's before we went video. We were doing a lot of radio. So sorry for that one. But okay. All right. Fair enough. I did appreciate how we had our own NORAD scene where they're talking to the president saying, sir, we got some unidentified flying object coming into our area. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they said UFOs, but they said something too like that, which I thought was like, ooh, hey, this is kind of
Oh,
cool.
that guy. What is that actor's name? He played He played a very similar character in Star Trek. He was Claudius Marcus in
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Bread and
Circuses.
Circuses.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yep.
Even dressed
Good
in the same
one.
colors.
Yes.
yes, very good. Didn't think about that one.
Reuse costume, maybe.
Well, you never know.
Might have been. Might
Wasn't
have
the
been in the
same.
wardrobe.
Wasn't the same cut, but it was similar colors.
Um,
Yeah,
oh.
I forgot that guy's name.
Well, maybe it's on IMDb.
It's bound to be.
Yeah, just before that, I did appreciate how John and Apollo were going at it when he was talking about Colonel Watts, and he says, "I'm an attractive fellow," you know, and he says, "Hey, don't be a jerk."
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah.
I
You
thought-
don't look like him. He's an attractive fellow.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Which is really funny because Richard Hatch was a heartthrob back then.
Mhm.
Streets of San Francisco. You know what really bugged me is Richard Hatch. We had the privilege of speaking to him 4 times on the network. He was very giving of his time. And when I mentioned to my family, that we interviewed Richard Hatch, my elder sister was like, "Oh my God, you realize I had a crush on him?" Yeah, dumbass.
What
You realize that
female
I've had a
didn't?
network for the last 14 years? Yeah, never saw an episode, never cared to listen to my own sister. But, what do they say, right? A prophet is now welcome in his own country or whatever. Not that I'm a prophet, just using the phrase. But go ahead.
So to back up, Logan Ramsey. I meant to follow
There
up
you
on
go.
that one because yes,
Yep.
I also recognized him from Star Trek. I knew there was another actor that I wanted to comment on from this episode, and that was it.
Oh, we had another Star Trek veteran in this one. Remember the doctor that examines Apollo on
Yes.
Terra?
Yes.
Ken Lynch, chief engineer
Oh, right,
Vanderberg.
right.
Actually, he's not the only one. The commandant of the Eastern Alliance.
Yeah.
He was in Star Trek as well.
Next Generation.
Yes, very good. Yeah, crazy how these guys.
Well, so many of the characters in this episode had seen over and over again. I mean, they all appeared throughout. Like Knight Rider and other television shows at the time.
Well, they were the
I'm
main
trying to think
stable
of-
actors, in the same stable of stuff that they would be doing.
Yeah, like Brenda's father, I knew I recognized.
Isn't it
meant to
interesting?
follow
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Yes.
If you really think about it, everyone that was involved in this episode there are significant Star Trek connections, starting with John Delancey.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is cool. I'm glad we had to just talk that through. That is cool. I did, appreciate that.
So I also think they were setting up to bring in these people, for that other show too. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I think
to have that many significant actors of the time in one episode. I mean, most of them were just character actors, but I mean, they were carrying, episodes of shows back then when they were on them.
After the radar was lost on the UFO, he talks about the peace treaty with the Eastern Alliance, and then we switch over to the Galactica because they obviously found him. He's way off in, what does Ty do? Off in that quadrant. The way he pointed to the map, I said, "Colonel, come on!" Should be a little more decisive, but he does a gesture like somewhere over there on the map. I don't know if he was being sarcastic to the director, like they got. Well, I need you to do this, this, this. And Colonel Ty just got fed up with him. Somewhere over there. It struck me as there might have been a little more in that episode. But I thought it was great. And then Adama says, "Put me on Unicom. Plot a course for Terra. Light speed, Colonel." And of course, my references. "Sir, how soon till we get to the Peace Planet?" "Not yet, sir, not yet." "Flyer report then." Star Trek Sexy Undiscovered Country. And he says, "Light speed, Colonel." And then Starbuck lands and finds Apollo's Viper. He finds the message. And then, holy frack, he gets ambushed by a bunch of guys that were armed. But
And led by Q.
I love it where he says, for the record, I wanted to show that I stunned them. That was kind of funny, man. I don't know what they were going to accuse him of later, but for the record, I wanted to know that I stunned them all. And you know what was really cool is they decided to, bum rush him. He's bink, bink. They're all down. That was funny. I appreciate that. And then he destroyed their cars. I love that.
Yeah, I guess
Pyro.
that explains why they filmed the scene had the scene set at night, because instead of like building these troop transports for them, all they had to do was take a big searchlight and put it on a fork truck, basically, and film it at night. Because all you see is these big lights. You never see the machines.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't have much trouble paying for that instead of the machines that would have to be built that he was complaining about having to pay for.
That's right. He says, I hope I'm not going to have to pay for that. I did like that. He says, I'm on my way, Apollo. And then Brendan, the dad, meet up. Dad returns from a secret mission. And he's, Colonel Watts is back. Oh, my God, we need him. He was on the planet when they attacked. And the door chime. Sorry, my voice is going. General Maxwell, I presume. And then Apollo is not Charlie. We get into the whole thing where he's describing what he has to do. And Apollo is not Charlie. He's from another galaxy. And then, of course, Starbuck is touched by an angel. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean John. And, the whole thing about violence comes into play. And, I think he says, hey, there can't be any violence. Violence? Why am I here? I'm Starbuck. That was good. I don't think that would have played very well had that been Apollo. Think about it, guys.
No, it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But Starbuck, yes. Just that one just happened. Oh, and then comes the thing. Sir, we're still an hour away. And Adama says, maintain speed. We got to get there. Of course, John then appears. Brenda takes Starbuck out to go and find the Viper. And they talk about it is the beginning of the end. John tells him that. It is the beginning of the end. The end of what? See, that's why he's like, dude, you've got to tell him. You've got to let him know. But very quickly at the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank Elizabeth, Olivia Cooper, Hope, Wynn, Sonia Robles, and Aisha Kerr. Thank you all for the likes. Appreciate it, guys. And, we have a swift and decisive attack. Oh, the commander on Luna 1, I guess it is, says we have to launch a swift and decisive attack on the nationalists, said the fascists, which I thought was pretty cool. And he says, hey, overpopulation is one of our severe problems. Hey, let's go ahead. They talked about it in Endgame, the big superhero movie. I guess that guy is, what's his name then?
Thanos.
Yeah, we had our own Thanos. Hey, we have severe population problems. We'll just go and repopulate the planet. We'll be good. And then the president obviously was not done in by the speech. He says, we have a secret space treaty. Oh, no. We have a secret peace treaty. Then Apollo speaks to the Presidium. We are a system of 12 planets, and he talks about everything. And yeah, blah, 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 because that's exactly what it was.
Uh-huh.
And
well, I mean, he was trying to teach them about peace through strength, I guess, because this is all a very Cold War allegory.
Yes.
Trust but verify, right? Yes, I agree. Or MAD, right? Mutual assured destruction. Yeah.
Yes.
I was a bit surprised when Apollo did say that. So, Adama, thank you for reminding me of this being an allegory. It did surprise me that Apollo did talk about strength. That was good. For some reason, that was kind of out of the character that I knew. So it just stood out for me. Starbuck finds the Viper. He launches, tells her to back up. And then I think General Maxwell says, he says, but I have a peace treaty. He's there. I'm doing it again, Greg. All right. I have a peace treaty. He says, well, you better frame it
But
in a
hurry.
hurry.
But hurry.
You have about 6 minutes. I thought that was good. And yeah, as you know, folks, in today's world, Armageddon is 18 minutes, give or take. Might even be a little bit faster now. But Viper 4 makes contact with Galactica, and they immediately figure out what they need to do. And I remember watching as a kid, I thought it was a cool effect. Galactica arrives on station, puts out a shield to protect the planet. I thought it was good. But folks, based on their language, I got the impression that they were just firing from one side to the other. But it's another planet, isn't it?
I thought they were firing from
No,
the
same
other
planet. I thought.
Same planet, different sides.
Yeah, it was like ICBMs, basically.
So then it's like the episode of Bender, right? Where he had the people on one side and people on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I always got the impression that Luna 1 was its own either moon, satellite, or whatever.
Lunar
But-
1 was where Charlie Watts was being held prisoner, but
I don't think it was a
but the
lunar
Eastern
one.
Alliance guys were like in a bunker somewhere on Terra.
Oh,
Yeah. Like their own
Okay.
little war bunker.
so I guess that's why they're from the eastern side of the planet.
Yeah,
Okay,
Eastern Hemisphere.
I can see that.
A
All
little
right.
Cold War play.
Do you know what?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, duh. The Eastern Alliance. Is that an allegory or what? I did appreciate when Galactica arrived on station. Starbuck told him what was going on, and Adama instantly. All hands, battle stations. Positive shield now. Arm all weapons. Let's do that. Looked good. You know, there was no delay. Those are the heroes that we know, and it seemed right. And then we saw what happened. Galactica put on a show. And if you think about it, Galactica did put on a show, and we were looking at her from the underside.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there.
We saw the Galactica's underwear.
Aye, that we did. So I appreciated how the Eastern Alliance was like, we're at a minute plus 10, you know, and we're not getting any telemetry yet. No, sir. According to our data, what does mean? Yeah. Yeah, do they have a shield? Do they have something? It's like, oh my God. Hey, sir, I think it'd be a good idea to call them up right now on the on the line.
Oh, well, my favorite line is when you know, the supreme dude, his line is, "What treachery could they be up to?"
Oh yes,
After he's launched this attack and signed the peace treaty at the same time.
that was good. Yes. Oh my goodness. And then the Eastern Alliance sued for peace under their terms. Like, okay, that's an older phrase. I like it though. If you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, you realize what that means in the episode. They're suing you, but under your terms. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. You're suing for peace. You lost. So I guess it's a position of power.
It's kind of like a surrender, but we still want to be important.
Yeah. They sued for peace. Apollo left. He does get an answer out of John. No, it's not Earth. Say, come on, you owe me that, dude. Come on. It's not Earth. You still have a long way to go. Really? How long? Well, it depends how much of a budget we get and how many years.
And whether Galactica 1980 really happened.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's
It was
right.
just a really bad dream.
Ugh. What you guys want to add in the episode? I did go over it rather fast.
Yeah, but I think we got.
Hey, you hit every.
Yeah, you hit everything.
Oh, so the one comment I had was, you know, for like some of the cheesy aspects of the show. When Starbuck demonstrates what he can do with his blaster, he shoots a light, but then they immediately cut, and it's very obvious somebody threw.
Uh-huh.
Oh yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And one comment I had from the previous episode that I forgot to touch on is for the at this time that this was made, I always thought it was really cool that they integrated the vector graphic displays in Battlestar Galactica. And of course I was always going down to the corner luncheonette and playing asteroids. But they had like this really good long close-up of a vector graphic drawing of the Galactica on one of the screens in the previous episode, and I thought that was really cool.
They had the Galactica, and they also had the Eastern Alliance destroyer, right? But it was an extra long one of the Galactica. You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah. I remember I always tried to have a piece of paper, and I would try to quickly draw that because I didn't have a VCR. I didn't have anything. You had to wait for each episode to be back on rerun, if at all. That was it.
I didn't know about like Starlog magazine back then or anything either.
I remember my sister Alma waiting 2 years for the young lady's song in the movie The Poseidon Adventure.
Oh,
Remember how she sings it? Well, my sister got the tape recorder ready, and we're watching it, and she's got it ready so she can record it. Man, boy, have we come a long way.
I did the same thing.
Now, tiny bit of trivia. Do you remember who it was who sang the song?
Oh, I can't think of her name.
It wasn't Karen Carpenter, was it?
No, I don't believe so. No.
Oh, no.
Maureen McGovern?
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maureen.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't seen Quantum Leap, so I don't know who she is.
Well, she was not
good.
in Quantum Leap, just so you know.
No.
Yeah.
The Morning After.
Yes, Morning After. It's got to be
Marie
Morning
McGovern.
After.
That song, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
My sister waited 2 years to record that. I don't know if she got it recorded or not.
Wasn't
I
it
blacked
like
out.
a hit record? So she
Yeah, I
could have
think
just bought the record?
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember that she wanted it recorded on cassette, like we all did.
Here's something interesting musical-wise that you guys might not know.
There it is. Thank you.
Did you know that the character's name, Charlie Watts, was actually supposedly named after the Rolling Stones drummer?
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Because it's reported that Larson was a big fan of his. So that's why he created that character name.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that. Because you guys know, speaking of John Delancey, someone was asked. Oh, no, John Delancey was asked, ooh, your character's name, how'd you come about it? I was like, ooh, Q, questioner, something. He went into this whole thing, and then he went to a convention, and he heard Gene Roddenberry name the Q character from some audience member that attended regularly, and you're like, oh, well, there went my backstory for Q. So, in the same way, I guess John Watts was named after someone that they knew or admired, right?
Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie Watts.
Charlie Watts. What did I say?
Rolling Stones.
You said John.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Charlie Watts.
They all look alike.
They do not. You cannot tell me Mick Jagger looks like. Never mind. I was going to say Mick Jagger looks like Keith Richards, but I'll shut up at that point.
I wouldn't know. Watching this episode, it was all right. I appreciated watching the Galactica in full battle stations and actually taking on everything but the Cylons. This was good. Some of it didn't work for me. John was a little too, hey, I need you to save the world for all of us, but you're on your own. That was a bit thin. Whether it works or not, it's to each his own. I do like the episode. It was out of the ordinary, but I had more issues with it, but do I like it? Yeah, I do. It was good. It was fun. There's humor in this because, like the last episode, the subtlety of humor now, it's real. We know these characters and we know how they act, and that takes a while to get there, and that's why I'm still good with this episode. Michael?
Um, yeah, I don't really have much to close up on with this one, but
Do
I
you
mean,
like it?
I did like it. I
Okay.
did like it. It was, well, I'll just say at the end when he said, "No, this isn't Earth," but it was close.
Yep.
Yeah, so much so when they said, "Is this Earth?" I'm like, I can't tell you that. He's like, "Dude, you owe me.
No,
You owe me
you'll
at least
find it
this
again.
one." Yeah. Sorry, Liz. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just teasing along with you. No, it's not Earth, but you'll find it eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Galactica 1980.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I hope that's just a terrible nightmare.
Yeah. By the way, folks, I think we're gonna get all episodes in one, even the Starbuck one. But I think we're gonna spend more time on the Starbuck one than anything else.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
But for this episode,
And I haven't seen it yet. Sorry. By the way, no, I've seen it, but it's been
Okay.
about 15, 20 years. So when
Okay.
we review it, I'm like, oh, baby, I can't wait, I'm looking forward to it. Go ahead, Baltar.
I was going to say, I really like this episode for a couple particular reasons that probably doesn't even pertain to anything of you guys. I love it because the majority of the actors I knew from other things, and so much of the background and other trivia bits that added into it. Like the show's title was actually taken off of a 1962 movie, Experiment in Terror. And they reduced it down, that whole thing, which was done. And then the John Delancey, and then the Charlie Watts characters creation because of things that was a fan of. Just different little things like that is the reason I really like the show. But yes, you're right, it was a little thin on certain parts if you actually sat there and watched it, but it did have a couple of really good humorous parts too.
Admiral.
There'll be whales here.
Very good. Thank you, Trey. You're still on, Admiral.
I know.
Any comments?
Admiral on the bridge.
No, I'm sorry. I'm
sorry, buddy.
I was trying to look for more information about the turtle and vector graphics stuff that they use.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, I was just wondering if you had any final thoughts. I mean, we're here, buddy. We're at the final part. Yeah.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Don't get the COVID.
Yeah.
You're muted, Michael.
He knows he wants it that way.
I do want it that way because I was making a comment about Greg.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, fine. Okay. All right, fair enough. Anything else that you want to tag, Greg? Or you're good. You're done.
I'm good.
All right, I appreciate that. Admiral Adama.
I like it, but I like it better with the extra scenes in so that it makes more sense. It has the nighttime where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
It's amazing, Adama, in that you look at the runtime of this episode. It is still 48 minutes runtime. Remember that, folks. That was still at a time when you did 60 minutes of television, but you put 48 minutes of story. Yeah, granted, sometimes it was the end titles and such, but that's what you used to do, 48 full minutes. It's crazy. That translates to roughly 24 minutes for a 30-minute program, and you get some comedies that are running time of 18, 19 minutes. That's unreal.
That's what we have now.
Yeah. I remember when The Big Bang Theory ended, they were always between 18 and 19 minutes. That was crazy. Yes, yo, Michael.
That's why I had to think, because it was like I knew it was going to happen again.
So I get that, Adama, that when I guess my point is, look at what we already had on screen. If they had to put in all that other stuff, I wonder how long the runtime would have been.
I guess about 5 minutes longer, probably.
Wow. Or just bad editing that they chose that scene over another. I think the editor's job is the most thankless and yet most important job. How many times have we seen an editor do a scene or something, and then you look at the other ways they were going to do it, and they're like, oh my God, it really doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the editor can save or destroy
Kill.
something. Yeah, kill.
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir, I've edited a lot of Vance films. And sometimes the footage you have to work with is not the best.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, you know what? I didn't realize that, Adama. That's funny how that one worked in there.
I still have that big piece of green felt that I tried to use as a green screen. It's actually covering my window here in the den.
Trey, out of curiosity, how many episodes do you believe you've edited? Just in the fan film community.
Oh gosh, it's got to be I don't know, maybe around 70 some. And that's a wild guess, but it's been a lot.
Now, Michael, I understand that you had another role in the fan film community, but you did do some editing, and it
Not
was
really.
first.
No, I did not. I did not do that.
I thought you did some music.
No,
and
I tried to
some-
stay away from editing.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. All right then. Go to hell. Okay.
I try to stay away from editing now, and I've had to do it for NDB Media.
Yes, we know.
You probably didn't even know it, Roger.
For when people slip
It
up.
looked good, by the way, Michael. I went back and
Thank
rewatched
you.
some of the stuff.
Just keep Roger guessing. It's so fun.
Oh, it is.
Look at his face. It's just
Wheel
it's
spinning.
priceless. Yes, it's priceless.
Okay. Do you know why it's priceless? Because I just showered before the program, and due to the fact that it's 100 degrees in here, can you tell I'm hiding because I don't feel right because it is 90 degrees outside, meaning it's 100 in here right now. Even though I do have the AC and the fan,
Roger's
still dying.
moist.
Well, and Greg has ships behind him, so hey,
Yeah.
he's in
He's
It's
hanging out
space.
in
very
space.
cold in space.
Yes.
Yes. It was good. It was fun. But folks, all kidding aside, we are now. Today is the penultimate episode of the original series review. I don't know if we have this one chosen to be on calendar.
Yes, it's next week.
Yes, it is.
It is next week.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. I know we're not there yet, and I want to make sure to say it before we are there. Folks, I have ever so much looked forward to doing these programs. Greg and Michael know I've been wanting to do Battlestar Galactica for
2 years.
Beyond.
maybe
Yarens.
you've known about Yarens, yes. Greg has known about it for 2 years. Michael is tired of it for 5 years.
Yeah.
I have some original graphics that I came up with dating to 2019, 2020. It's something I had wanted to do for the longest time, but circumstances hit.
Yeah. I remember because we were.
I mumbled about it for a while, Greg.
Yeah, and then somebody went and passed away,
Yeah.
and then we kind of were too depressed about it.
Yeah. Well, you remember that? Yes. Yeah. And like I say,
That wasn't long after Jeff's last interview with him either.
yeah. Richard Hatch, ladies and gentlemen. He was, and in many ways still is, a friend of the fan community, and seeing him in these episodes. And guys, I told you what he did, right? In 2013, was it? Yeah, I think it was in 2013 in November. We almost lost my youngest. Um, they did remove her gallbladder. She had where the sugar buildup is in. Is it not the spleen, but is it the something in there that it was bad. She coded three
Pancreas.
times. Pancreas, yes, thank you. Yes. I remember the image of being in intensive care and they brought in the bathtub, the one that they fill with ice so you can submerge them in right away.
Yeah.
That happened when I was in there at night, but she coded three times. And Long Beach Memorial, she's here because of it. But Richard Hatch, who I'm still friends with, but he passed away, but he commented on my page and I've never ever forgotten it. He said, Roger, I see the posts and I know something traumatic is going on with you and your family. And he went on to say, he says, but this is what it's about. It's about family. And this is who we are and who we have. And he said that no matter how dark it is, there is always the opportunity that the sun will rise again. He said there's always daylight. And you have to be strong. And you are. And we're all behind you. And he used the Battlestar Galactica line that they said, we're stronger together, so say we all.
Mhm.
And he said, never give up. See it through. And I was floored that he took the time to write that on my page for my daughter. And of course, I'm running to ICU, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" She said, "Look! Did you see this?" And she's in a morphine-induced state. She opens her eyes, and she's like, "Okay." She closes her eyes again. But he did that. He took the time to do that. Never ever forgot that.
Great,
I
great
don't.
guy.
Yeah,
He was.
he was.
And I had that personal connection. I met him in person, and he was on our network 4 times. It's unreal, and he was everywhere. He loved the fan community. He mingled with all of us. It was fun. He was a good person. He really was. But all right, and so now you know why it took us so long to do Galactic, because he did. He passed away, and we were, yeah. 'Cause I think he would have been on with us, huh, Greg? Oh hell yeah.
Well, that was still when you were Blog Talk Radio too.
Yeah, he would have been on with us. I
Yeah.
know it. Oh hell yeah, he loved being on with us. I remember I
We
took
were. I
over.
guess I was already actively involved at that point.
Yes, I took over Jamie's program one time when I invited Richard Hatch to come on.
Oh,
That was
that must
funny.
have been fun.
Oh, I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, it's all good. All right, folks, we got the next 2 episodes coming up. One of them is Take the Celestra, I believe it is, and then the final episode.
The hand of God.
Yeah. And if TV Guide were still in existence, it would say, for the episode of the Hand of God, it would be the quote from Adama. No, this time we're going on the attack. I'm paraphrasing. Do you remember what his words were, Adama? When they see the Cylon base star and they're like, okay, let's set course. He's like, I'm through with this.
I
We're
remember he
going at him.
says, I'm tired of running.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. But all right. You guys have any announcements? Anything that we need to get out? Personal, professional, anything?
Well, Michael, you want to do
Yeah,
what's going on Sunday?
I'm just doing what I'm looking it up because we've got a few things coming up. So
Okay.
Paul Kennedy from House of the Dragon, he plays Lord Jasper Ironrod Wild. He's coming July 28th, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. August 10th, Ryan Adams from the Ark at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. The 25th of August, Jessica Yemi, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. 31st, Paul Leonard Murray, William Trust from the Ark, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. The ones that I have not gotten times yet are like 4, but I won't mention those on air until I want to make sure I get those totally squared away. So.
But you can head over to ndbmedia.net. And folks, this is another situation where I have to tell you, there are other names that are not even mentioned on the website that we're just getting a date. And I say we, but that's Michael. And it's unreal. And the one from HBO, that's the first officially from HBO.
Yeah, correct.
Not the folks. That's Michael. That's the score of scores, man. Not that when we're dissing the Ark, but the reality is we're being watched, no doubt about it. So I'm looking forward to that. If we do well, HBO is ours. Not trying to brag, but it is. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Michael has been busting his hiney on that.
Yeah, he has been for a while. Rumor has it. I wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Any personal things you guys want to share with the audience or anything? Or are we good?
I'm good.
Okay, folks. Then we will be on next Thursday, of course. I'm not expecting a sports talk with the guys because I will be in San Diego this weekend starting tomorrow for Comic-Con. And we'll see. We'll see what else. But I may do my Saturday night program. I don't know. It depends how I feel. It's iffy. I'm probably going to be tired. I mean, I'm already exhausted enough as it is. I want to give thanks, though, that my voice held out. But again, this is the penultimate episode. Michael, this has been a hell of a run for Battlestar Galactica. You've been here from the very first episode. Greg was here from when we did the December episode. Just because it was the 20th anniversary, dude. Wow. That's why we had to hit that day. Liz, also from the very beginning. And it's been absolutely awesome. We still have one more to go, and then we'll talk about Galactica 1980, and then the reimagining. I love Adama. Yep. The repackaging, dude. I love that.
That's what it was.
Dude, that is so creative. I like that. And as well, I am so happy to have had you on, Trey. This has been a hell of a run. We've all learned. I think we've all learned from we've all been able to contribute something. But Trey, your uber knowledge of the Galactica. Look, I know some stuff, but I'm not even anywhere close to what you and Greg know, and it's really cool.
Man,
well, it's fun. It's all fun.
It blows me out of the water.
I've just watched it way too much.
Yeah, hey, it's still fun though. I look forward to being able to talk some more though. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and do it. Liz, why don't you? Okay, take us out, but Adama will do the final. Yes, you're right. So okay. Close the program for us, Baltar.
Hopefully everybody continues to be safe, stay cool, continue to watch NDB Media with all of our wonderful programs, and lead it off to Adama.
Fleeing from the Cylon tyranny, the last Battlestar, Galactica, leads a ragtag fugitive fleet on a lonely quest. A shining planet known as Earth.